Hi class, today I want to talk to you about essay number 2, literary analysis essay. So this is your second essay in the course. This is the prompt that I'm showing you right now. I'm not going to go through the entire prompt. I'm just going to highlight important features. But what I want you to do is I want to make sure that you do read the entire prompt fully because there are a lot of details, a lot of things that have to be included in the essay that I refer to in the prompt. Okay, so first of all, the prompt tells you the purpose. The purpose is to write a 1,000-word essay that analyzes a literary motif or theme in Fahrenheit 451. Okay, let's just think about that sentence. So the easiest part is that it's 1,000 words. But what you're analyzing in Fahrenheit 451 is a literary motif or theme. What in the world is that? What am I talking about? Okay, well, let me tell you. In our book, The St. Martin's Guide to Writing, I am in page 459 of the book, right here. At the bottom of that page, it focuses on literary motif or theme. So that is going to help you understand what is a literary motif or theme. Now, if the word motif is kind of messing you up because that's not a word that we commonly use, maybe then just think about it as the literary theme. So what is the theme of a book? A theme of a book is something that the book focuses on. In Fahrenheit 451, there are several different themes that are presented. And this page right here is going to give you some examples. So it gives you some information about what a theme or motif is here. But what I think what's really going to help you is here on the right-hand side. These questions that it's asking here on the right-hand side, that's going to help you understand what theme is. And it's even going to give you some suggestions as to what theme you can focus on. Now, what they're offering here on page 459, these are very general themes that would fit many different stories. So some may fit in Fahrenheit 451 and others may not fit in Fahrenheit 451. But look at this. It says, could you analyze the text as an initiation or coming of age or rite of passage story? A quest for love, truth, fame, fortune, salvation of oneself or the community? A story about a character's disillusionment or fall from innocence? All of these here are literary themes. Again, some of them fit Fahrenheit 451, others do not. If you go on to page 460, we have more examples over here. Again, this information on the left is good, but I do, again, believe that this on the right is going to help you look at different themes. A story about family or a surrogate family, a story about storytelling, or becoming a writer as an artist. Might you focus on the theme of the American dream, social construction of femininity or masculinity, race relations in America, alienation, the urban or suburban experience? So those are just, again, very general themes that you can focus on. What you need to do is figure out what theme you want your essay to focus on. And the theme has to be very specific. So you can't just say, oh, I'm going to focus on love. There has to be more. What about love are you going to focus on? Okay, so think about that, because then the next sentence here in the prompt says, the essay will engage your readers' interest, assert an arguable thesis, and support the thesis with quotes, paraphrases, and summaries. I want to call your attention to arguable thesis. This is important because every essay should have a thesis statement. In this case, your thesis not only has to be about the literary analysis, because the thesis presents what the essay is going to be about. What is your essay going to be about? Well, when I read your thesis statement, I should know this essay is going to analyze blah, 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 blah. That's in very simple terms what your thesis does. But in this case, I'm asking for an arguable thesis. That means that whatever your analysis on, that's your point of view, and someone else can argue against it. Because what you're trying to do with this essay is not only present your analysis, but tell me why your analysis is correct. Okay, that's what an arguable thesis means. So for example, if I give the statement, the sky is blue, now that's not a thesis, but let's just talk about the statement, the sky is blue. Can you argue with me that it's not blue? If you can, that's an arguable statement. If you cannot, it is not an arguable statement. Your thesis has to be arguable. Can I argue against that thesis? And if I can, that's good, because then you're defending your analysis, your thesis. Okay, moving on. So you're going to choose a theme or motif from Fahrenheit 451. You're going to have to analyze that in 1,000 words. Then here is more information. Decide on what approach to take, whether ethical, social, historical, or symbolic. This is page 457 through 470. Formulate an arguable thesis. This is on the St. Martin's Guide to Writing. An arguable thesis is presented in page 461. Okay, I'm going to skip over that. You really want to focus on chapter 10 of the St. Martin's Guide to Writing, because chapter 10 is a chapter that focuses on analyzing stories. Okay, so that's where you read the use of force, and that's where you read the analysis for the use of force. So that chapter is really going to help you understand about more about this essay. Remember, you're only going to submit your final draft to me. Again, you're only submitting your final draft. Okay, you should be creating an outline. You should be creating rough drafts. You should be correcting those drafts as you go on, because what you're submitting to me, the final draft, the final draft is the best essay that you can possibly turn into me. That's what a final draft is. Don't forget that you do have to include a works cited page. Do I talk about outside sources somewhere? Okay, I guess the only outside source that is required is Fahrenheit 451. Oh, no, right here. Find one or more outside source that will enhance your analysis. So you have to have at least 2 outside sources, okay? One is going to be Fahrenheit 451, and then a second outside source. And your second outside source, by the way, should not be Wikipedia. It should not be Spark Notes. It should not be it shouldn't be a source that clarifies Fahrenheit 451. It should be a source that talks about Fahrenheit 451, that's fine, or that talks about the theme. But it shouldn't be one of those websites that summarizes Fahrenheit 451. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, again, don't forget your works cited page. It has to be MLA formatted, and this talks about MLA formatting, and I did give you a link of how to format an MLA. And then again, I talk about chapter 10, because your essay should include the basic features that are presented in chapter 10. A clear arguable thesis, well-supported argument, and a clear logical organization. So that's just basic. So that's basically the essay, for the explanation for essay number 2. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to send me an email.